In this episode of Leadfoot Junk, I'm going to drive this pile 172 miles to Gas City, Indiana. It's not been tested, up and down the road a mile. I'm leaving the wife behind.
So what happened?
Made a mile down the road and locked up a caliper.
You gonna fix it?
What's that?
Are you gonna fix it?
Gonna try. Looks like I'm driving to Indiana. No brake hose. Apparently that's a rare item. Hen's teeth. They can have one tomorrow. Doesn't do me any good.
Brakes only slow you down. Without them, you also get into a heck of a lot of trouble. Thanks to...
Alright, just gassed up. And it looks like we got a small gas leak, but it might just be around the filler neck, not sure. Seatbelt doesn't exactly lock well. The brake problem, we just put the hose back on it, and gonna run it, try and find one along the way, and change it out when we get there. I'm gonna reset the GPS here and see what reset the trip, and then that way see what this thing gets for mileage, because the speedometer doesn't work for whatever reason. It's hooked up, it should, but it doesn't. So this is actually officially hitting the road. Made it into town to get gas. Seems running alright. Staying cool. And I never checked to see if this thing had a thermostat in it. So it may never even get warm, and probably not the best for running, but it also doesn't have an oxygen sensor on it yet. So. Well, there it is. She made it to Indiana. Alright, well, like I said, we made it. We still have a few miles to go yet. A mile and a half after turn, then it's down here, I don't know, less than 5, I think. But whatever the issue it was having a little bit ago, it has seemed to stop doing. It's not overheating anymore. Well, it's not running hot. It's back down to like, I'm gonna say 160, 190, somewhere in there. Definitely well below 220 where it was running. It did creep up there a little bit. And I just took it easy for a while, and then it started cooling down. I got off the highway and cooled way down. Seems to be running alright. It's not lost some pep, so I don't know if it's still the injector or what. Maybe just running slower. It's cooled down now because we're on 2 lanes instead of the 4 lane. But it's pumping right along now. It's going to be okay. You roll into it, it just kind of bogs. It's downshifted to drive. Runs alright in there. Maybe the distributor broke. I never did exactly time it and lock the distributor down. I just got it close with the tensions on timing it. Never did. So maybe the distributor moved and it lost time. So making our turn here for the final stretch. I can see the barn from here, so it's not even a mile. We're going to Sam's work, where he takes a mile. He builds pulling trucks, pulling truck diesels, and he's in charge of running the dyno. Can't have much better recruiter to run a dyno than him. So we'll figure out what's wrong with this thing here. Alright, we got Sam there, Tom there. We're heading out. Could be shenanigans. I lied, there will be shenanigans. Alright, update on the Camaro. That bolt side of the exhaust, the collector fell apart. You see the collector hanging down there? So I jack it up and do that, and then I noticed I got a pretty gnarly transmission leak. You can see it all leaking down there, the control arm's soaked. And we've also lost overdrive, so I think that's why it's just that low on fluid, so you get it jacked up here and figure it out. Alright. Apparently, when I was putting this together, or maybe it made itself loose, it, focus. Oh, focus with the steel line going into the radiator. I apparently didn't get tight because the line is loose in the radiator, so gotta tighten that up some. And that should take care of the leak. There we go. And then here's the collector. And you can't see it, but the one bolt's about loose. So we'll get it, but you can see how wet everything is. For an ATF, that pipe was brand new, shiny aluminized. Now it's all brown and caked. So hopefully it's just that low on training fluid. After discovering this, that's why it doesn't shift. So we'll see. Eventually I'm going to put an external cooler on this, but that should take care of it for now. But all this was thrown together just because I didn't want to put any time and money in it. Just want to make sure it would run and drive. And it does that, so we're going to put a little bit of money in it. Oh, 5 That's it. Oh, never mind. She made 40 yesterday, right through there. Charger case, like, ow! I'm like, ooh. I'm like, what's that? Gunshot. I think I'll get down to like 4. She's under 69 today. I got you. That's why it sounded funny, but my cable's getting dicked. Brand new GMC. Oh. out and you start playing her out. She's like, I'll show you what I got. She's got a little bit of a 70. Does that take pretty good video? Ah! Black smoke for the Prius? Yeah, let the charger come down. Oh, for the Prius. Did it get him? Oh, I got him. I don't think they're impressed, which most times they're not.
That's his new thing?
Oh, dear.
This guy? Yes.
Oh, so you're telling me Jake's got something going on?
All of them. All of them. Some guy was hiking and found it, and he's like, I don't know if there was anybody in this, but it was probably
people in
bad.
it?
I don't know.
Nobody knew?
Nobody knew. It'd been there for a while. It was very.
There's no way there's people in it then. You just seen death or something, wouldn't you? Or was there a mountain lion like, ooh, easy pickings, dragging their carcass off?
They probably dragged the carcass out for you, and then left the business and waited to take the turn hot like a 50. I'm not sure if you're figuring the story. You're on your own.
The dash in. Oh. Was it that loud outside? When I go by or anything?
I never paid attention.
I don't know,
There's
there's
that to this ratio of exhaust to that probably cancels that out.
Alrighty. Got the brake line fixed. It's the wrong one. This apparently has the performance package brakes on it, like we talked about earlier, and end up using the regular one, and it works fine. You just got to grind the end down a little bit where it goes into the caliper. So there's a new line, all on there fancy. Gravity bled it, bled right out. Pump the brakes. It doesn't grab anymore, so obviously it was the line. We knew that from bleeding the bleeder, or breaking the bleeder loose and the caliper let loose. So all back together, exhaust is all tight, so I'm going to throw this tire back off. Just in case anybody's wondering, these are S10 Extreme wheels, but they look far better than the crap that was on it. Gross center lines with knockoff simulator center caps. Like to get some Z06s for it, or 2002, 2001 Camaro SS wheels. Just do spacers and maybe eventually do the full width rear end or the wider rear end out of a 4th gen. Disc brakes and everything, but as of right now, this is a cheap build and make it run, make it drive. And we've proved that it runs and drives. Oh, that's right. The earlier we talked about when I was driving, it lost power. Got here and the distributor was loose. I think I said something about that. I thought maybe it was the injector, but or the timing was way off. The distributor was way out, so it was super retarded. And so I advanced it, took care of it. At least it seems to. And I checked the number 1 plug. That's one that was burnt oil real bad. And it's pretty black, but not fouled out completely. back it up, set it back down, and work the lug nuts. Let's do it. Alright, on the way back, just stopped for gas. According to the GPS, I did 179 miles. I put 11.057 gallons in, and got 16.18 miles to the gallon, which is not bad at all for something that doesn't have an oxygen sensor on it, is not running worth a crap. So, and then I vlogged on it and beat on it when we got here with Sam and Tom, which is expected. So, there it is. Not bad at all. I'm sure we'll get better on the way home. Hopefully, knock on wood, she makes it home, no problems. But it seems to be running good. We got the timing set. I readjusted the headlights so they're not pointing at the ground. When I took off and left Sam's, they were bad. So we are gonna roll out. GPS says 130. So, the camera just sitting on the dash. I did that because the tripod was falling over, but it looks like it's gonna slide everywhere. Right there. And I got my little work light sitting on the seat on. I don't know if this thing has a filming light. It might, but I don't know how to work it, so. On the highway. Alrighty. Made it back into town. About a mile, about 2 miles from home. Pretty well went flawlessly. Drove like a champ. Right, nice and cool all the way. Use my lead light here to look a little bit. But seems to run good. I trust it. We got a couple more little bugs. I think I'm gonna put the other rubber hose on. Now it kind of darts to the left when you get on the brakes. Not near as bad as it was before, but I think because that line's nice and new and the other one's probably half collapsed. Get the other front line on it. Now check the rear brakes out. I'm going to do a trans fluid change on it. Probably check the rear end fluid, repack the wheel bearings in the front. Give it a little bit of love, and then just start driving it. I like it. I've always wanted one of these. And my dream car in high school. Not that it's exactly that dreamy, but it's a fun car to drive. Buy them cheap, beat the snot out of them. I think we did a little better on mileage this time on the way back. We'll get that oxygen sensor on it. It'll take care of the it'll help the fuel economy a little bit, and then it'll also, I think the torque converter's not locking up once you get cruising, so I think that it's just staying in open loop because it doesn't have the O2 sensor, so it doesn't know what to do. It's not locking the converter, so that's what we're going to hope for. But yeah, other than that, I would call this a success. A couple little issues, but nothing major. Definitely got to do is these headlights suck. I think they're full of moisture and everything else, and with it being wrecked in the front when I first got it, the left front fender's wrinkled and rolled down. It's got the whole front bumper cover pulled down. I repaired the understructure because it was wrinkled, but the bumper just, the fender's all shrunk, so it's got that whole front assembly pulled down, headlights pointed at the ground. So we'll get that fixed. Need the lower front balance, then paint the hood, paint the bumper and the new fender, and it won't look half bad. I rubbed the car out and it actually looks pretty good from about 20 feet. Definitely not that great close up, but it's black, mostly original paint, so it shows everything. But I am turning onto my street right now. I am home, because even if it died right now, I could still coast to my driveway. So, I'm out.